Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled An Expose on Rappers Selling Their Souls. Lord will, you are edified. Video was inspired by the YouTube platform, The Arts of Dialogue. Video entitled, Lil Flip Exposes How Rappers Sell Their Soul. They try to pray spirits out of my house for use.
Rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Because I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos on TV, but
So who is in control? The wicked. Let's go to Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand, meaning control of the wicked. So Esau is the wicked. Esau has control of the world based on the blessing he received from Isaac. He covers the faces of the judges thereof, hence iconoclasm. And that term means to destroy the face of an image. So he will paint Yahweh, Yahushua, the heavenly host, as so-called white people. He covers the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 4 and 3. Salakia. Why do I keep doing that? My bad. Second Corinthians 4 and 4. In whom the God of this world, the wicked, have blinded the minds of them which believe not. The minds of them which believe not is referring to the non-elect, of Israel, lest the light of the glorious gospel, this truth of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. Because if the Most High scripted for the non-elect to receive this heavenly word, they would be saved.
I just know, I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous and they ain't keeping it infinity, because keeping it 100 ain't enough. That's a limit. You go with me, you got to keep it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, it is.
And again, selling your soul is signing that contract. Once you sign that contract, Esau, in the form of these record executives, they control your name, likeness, and image. They can make you put on a skirt. They can make you wear makeup, paint your fingernails, and behind closed doors, look, you need to do a sacrifice, you need to do something homosexual. You sell your soul when you sign that contract, and now you have no integrity, your moral compass is terminated. You're willing to do any and everything for the bag. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? Man, there is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, a person that desires something. For such and one set his own soul to sell. And that's what Jake do. Okay, especially in the music industry. Jake is extremely covetous. Jake wants what Esau have. Okay, remember what P said. He used to call himself the Black Bill Gates. Okay, the Black Trump. All right. So again, there is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, okay, Jake, in the music industry, willing to do any and everything for the bag. For such and one set his own soul to sell. And this is what Lil Flip is talking about. Because while he lived, he cast away his bowels, meaning what? His integrity, his moral compass. He has no boundaries.
It's what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of. I ain't gonna say nice. There's a lot of rappers that sold their soul, and they let money.
And this entire world is evil. Why? Let's go to Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Even him is referring to Esau, Edom, beginning with their nobility. Okay, they control this entire system. They control religion, right? The sector of religion. They control the sector of education. They control the sector of military. They control finances. Okay, they control music. Remember, they are the God of this world based on a blessing. And all of this was ordained by Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's their kingdom. So if they're wicked, the earth is wicked. And let me prove that. Let's go to Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. And it states, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, hence the Renaissance. Rebirth of what? Them returning back into power. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Now, border in the Hebrew, you have a definition stating territory. What's the territory? The entire fucking earth. Okay, so the border of wickedness and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation, righteous anger forever. So Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai hates these people.
They dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want nice amount of. I ain't gonna say nice. There's a lot of rappers that sold their soul, and they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't in.
Let's go to Let's go to 1 Timothy 6 and 8. We'll start in the NLT. So if we have enough food and clothing, let us be content, our basic needs. Verse 9. But people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. So these sellouts, they want the goods of the world. They want fortune, fame, women, money, and access. Okay, and they're willing to do any and everything for this, but at the same time frame, the result is they destroy themselves. But people who long to be rich fall into temptation and are trapped by many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction, such as your Jay-Z's, Beyonce's, okay, Chris Brown, right? Eddie Murphy, okay, Dave Chappelle, anybody that you see on a platform, okay, that has a following, they have sold out. You have to play the game. T.I., Jeezy, okay, so on and so forth. Everybody you see, and now the the vibe or who has the motion are these content creators, okay, such as your Casanets, okay, Blackboard Cardi, and that Jewish cat, Aiden something, all right, because now Esau is using them to engineer people for the new world order. So they all sold out.
I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people. And yeah, I ain't gonna snake my people. And yeah, I can't sell my people out, and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool. I'm used to the attention.
Yeah, that's crazy for me to hear you say that, man. So rappers is really out here selling themselves for success. That's a real thing.
For sure. Yeah. Behind the scenes selling their soul or snaking somebody who deserves opportunity. You know?
Have you ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray. And yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out and he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah,
So that guy or that person was going to put spirits in his home. Okay.
I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So yeah, peace. I kept God in what I got going on. I kept God. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money. I talk for myself. I come from a family that programmed me and trained me to be out in this world and out in the streets and knowing how to maneuver. So you can't lure me with no money or nothing like that. Like meaning like if I don't want to do the deal, I ain't gonna do the deal. The difference between me and a lot of artists is I started doing music for God. My grandmother played the piano. I was in the church. I sung in the choir. I played the drums, played the piano, sung in the choir for God. Went to different churches and sung here and there, right? For God, doing music in the studios, making gospel music, making hip hop. Like, but I started off doing music for God. So
That's pretty much it. The reason why music is satanic is because Esau is satanic. Period. A couple more precepts. Let's get Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 19. Or is it 9? Hold on. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 19, Salakia. A feast is made for laughter, to have a good time, and wine make merry, literally. But money answer all things, and this is a lot of reason. This is the main reason. Let me say that. This is the main reason motherfuckers sell out. Because money answer all things, okay? Money is a defense, all right? And there's nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you have to sacrifice something as far as a loved one or do something that is homosexual or worship to Satan, okay, now you're fucking up. But if you get money in a righteous method, there's nothing wrong with that. Even for bros that have money in this truth, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as the hustle, right? The hustle doesn't sabotage your work ethic as being a prophet. That's the fucking problem. Okay? So when you can't balance both, then one has to go. And the one that needs to go is the carnal. Because remember, where your treasure is, that's where your mind will be. And we are dreaming about the kingdom of heaven. Okay? We're supposed to be occupied in this truth. All right. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 12. For wisdom is a defense, right? And money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom give life to them that have it. So the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, is all we need. Lord will, this was edifying. Shalom.